Outburst, a Todd Mills Mystery, Book 4. Author, R.D. Zimmerman. Publisher, Scribble Pub, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 1998. Narrator, Eric Aust. Chapter 38. As Rollins and he stood just outside Dayton's department store, Todd dialed this hotel on his cellular phone. A man's voice answered, saying, "Hotel Redmont. How may I direct your call?" "Yes, I'd like to speak to Mr. Russ." "Mr. Russ," began Todd. "Oh, good grief. I can't believe I've forgotten his last name. He's in room 469? "Let me see," said the operator, as his fingers apparently flew across the keyboard. "Yes, that would be Mr. Russ Fugel." "Exactly. One moment, please." Todd, however, hung up immediately, slipped his phone back into his shirt pocket, and to Rollins said, "Russ Fugel, that's our guy." "Let's go." Darting around a couple of taxis, they half jogged across 7th Street as they neared the main entrance of the Hotel Redmont, a towering hotel not yet 5 years old. A doorman greeted them and pulled open the glass door. "Thank you," said Todd, as if they were guests. Rollins and he immediately veered to the left, passing through the beige marble lobby and going straight to the bank of 3 elevators. Stepping into the brass-trimmed lift, they rose to the 4th floor. As they did so, Rollins reached beneath his sport coat, pulled out his gun, checked it, then slipped the weapon back into his holster. "Remember, let me do the talking," said Rollins. "Sure, whatever you say, Butch." Stopping at the 4th floor, the lift opened onto a long hallway, void of guests and service people. Brass lights, fixtures lined either side of the corridor, and Todd and Rollins wasted no time going down it and turning to the right. Room 469 was 3rd from the end, and they approached it in complete silence. Zeroing in, Todd watched as Rollins went right up to the door and placed his ear against it. He stood for a long while, then, apparently unable to hear anything, pulled back and knocked. But there was no response. If he was in there, Russ Fugel didn't call back, didn't even flinch. Noticing a band of light at the bottom of the door, Todd dropped to his knees and bent down. Spying into the room, he could tell that the curtains were open and that sunlight was flooding into the room. He saw teal carpeting, what looked like a wastebasket, perhaps a dresser, the corner of a bed, but no one quietly moving about in the room. Rollins knocked again and said, "Room service." He pounded harder. "Room service for Mr. Russ Fugel." With one side of his face pressed against the carpet, Todd continued to stare beneath the door. He half expected to see the guy standing there, as still as a statue. Instead, he saw nothing. Nor were there any sounds of any kind. No running shower, no blaring TV. "Come on," said Rollins, reaching down and nudging Todd on the shoulder. "He's not here." Rising to his feet, Todd said, "We need to find out when he checked in and how long he plans on staying." "Yeah, it's time to have a little talk with the hotel manager." Gay Mysteries audiobooks. I think it is easy to hate a label, but a face humanizes the word. So this effort is twofold: to offer comfort to those like myself that your world didn't end because you don't fit into the view of acceptable society on both sides, and in hopes of helping those with family that are LGBTQ, that it doesn't mean we are aliens from the child they once knew. Reassure them so they can maybe be supportive at the same time, being true to their values.